Hey, everybody. My name is Sherry Sutton, and I am your marketing mentor. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to our weekly live Q&A where I answer all of your marketing questions. So feel free to send them in to me anytime. So one of the things that I get asked about the most, and Billy Pie Goaltending Academy is in. Hello, Billy Pie Goaltending Academy. One of the things that I get asked a lot is how do I, I can't think today. What types of activities do I do when it comes to social media? In other words, what types of content should I be putting out there on a regular basis? Should I be doing reels? Should I be doing lives? Should I be doing videos? What should I be doing? So here's the quick answer to that. It is yes, that's the answer. But for Instagram in particular, you want to make sure that you're doing a lot of reels and carousels. So a reel is those short 30-second videos that are very sort of TikTok inspired, right? Little short things, fun, often with some music or some original audio. Those are becoming the future of Instagram and really of marketing in general is video and very short little videos. So you want to be doing those. I would say at least half of your content should be those short videos. Now, the great thing is you can actually save those videos and use them in other places. So I'll actually create a reel on Instagram, which I then share on my Facebook page for my business, but then I download it and save it. And then I put it up on in my group page on Facebook. I'll put it up on my personal page sometimes on Facebook, depending on the content. And I'll also upload it onto LinkedIn. So it's a great way of taking one piece of content, that one reel, but using it in multiple places. So it's not just for Instagram. Now, there are some times where you can't do that depending on the audio that you choose, where you can't download it, but something to be aware of. And we can talk about that separately. We are planning, just so you know, a Reels training in the next couple of weeks. I'll be announcing that probably next week when we're going to be doing that. We're super, super excited about it. Kara, who's on my team, is going to actually help put that together and is going to be the one training you. And I'm excited. I think I'll probably learn a lot as well. So if you're interested in that, give me a direct message and I will put you on the advanced list for that. So reels should be about 50% of what you do. People love these short, little, fun, entertaining videos. The second thing you should be doing is carousels. Carousels is where you have multiple graphics all at once. So you want to make sure you're doing a lot of carousels. I'd say probably maybe the other 25% of your content should be a carousel. So carousels are usually what I'll do is I'll do like a first page that has like, what's the question that we're answering for people, right? What is my audience struggling with today? You can do one or two, as many slides as you want. Usually wouldn't do more than 3 or 4 on what the solution is. So the first slide is going to be, or the first picture is going to be, what's the challenge? Then 2, 3, 4, 5 of the slides will be, how would you recommend they solve that? And then I always have the last image, or the last, I call them slides because I'm used to PowerPoint. You'll have that last image be your call to action. So that's where I'd put up the latest about whatever program you're driving people to at that time. You should always have something that you're driving people to. Like for me right now, it's my Marketing Made Simple program, which is where I work with individual entrepreneurs to develop their marketing plans. So I have a pre-made graphic that I always put as my last graphic in my carousel so that I'm always continuing to market that program. So I'd say about 50% should be reels. Then another 25% should be carousels. Now, when I reuse the content for that carousel, I actually don't use all those images because in other platforms, it doesn't look as good, right? Sometimes it doesn't have that same effect as it does on Instagram where you can swipe between the different pieces, right? If you upload them on Facebook, they just sort of all plop together. You don't know where you're supposed to start or where you're supposed to end. And so I like to actually take only the first graphic, the one that proposes what the challenge is. I'll use that in the other platforms. So on Facebook, in my group, on LinkedIn, maybe on my Facebook personal page. And then I make sure that in the content that I put what my advice is, right? What those tips are for how to solve that challenge. And then I always make sure that in the comments, I'm also putting, not in the comments, but in the text, I'm also putting what the call to action is. So that's how you can reuse that content as well. Because remember, you should always be reusing your content. And that's something that is super important. We're actually going to talk about this more on a live tomorrow. Every Wednesday, I do a live training at noon Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry, at 1 Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to share with you tomorrow how to take one piece of content and use it in many different places. And then we have a training on that coming up at the end of the month. And I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. So 50% of your posts should be reels, these short videos. I'd say another 25% should be carousels. And then after that, it's really up to you. I go live like this twice a week because I enjoy doing it. It's something that I'm very comfortable talking in front of the camera, though today I'm having a little bit of a slow start, but happens to all of us. So I like talking in front of the camera. It's something that I get a lot of positive feedback from my audience on, from you guys. Thank you. So I try to do that twice a week. So my other 25% of my engagement on social media tends to be these live presentations, but that's not for everyone. So you could do a couple different things. One, you could do videos, like a pre-taped video where you're not live, but you upload a pre-taped video. You could also just do a post that's just a single graphic. One of the fun things that I like to do when I'm doing these single graphics is I love putting some sort of motion in there. I often will download something from like a Jiffy and put that, or Giphy, however you want to say it. And I'll use that so that at least, even if it's just sort of a one slide or one image post, you've got a little bit of movement in there. Make it something fun, make it something that's entertaining. That's what we're seeing marketing move towards, especially on social media, is to be a lot more entertaining, right? More movement, more sound. And so the more you can do things like that within your comfort zone, the better. And again, you don't have to be on camera to make this work, right? Not everybody's me and is used to being a public speaker. You can find ways to do video where you're not in front of the camera. And that's something else that we're going to be talking about in this Reels training coming up. And so I encourage you to give me a direct mail and I'll add you to the list for that. Again, we're going to be announcing the dates probably maybe even as early as tomorrow, but certainly by next week, we'll be announcing the dates for our Reels training. We'll talk about how to do Reels for introverts because that's something that's so important. So many of us hate being on camera, and the idea of having to do Reels or any kind of video, though we know it's important, freaks us out. And so we don't do it. And then we don't end up posting on social at all. So there's lots of ways that you can create Reels and video, even if you're not comfortable with it. And we're going to talk about some of those ideas in that training. So please join us for that. So that was the big question that I got for today. If anyone else has any, I'm going to look and see if I see any other comments. Oh, one of the other questions that I see is, how do I organize myself and how do I organize all of the things that we have going on? And I have, obviously all of the marketing that I do for my business, but I also manage marketing for a lot of other people. And so how do we manage that across, a fairly large team and our clients? I use Trello, and it's something that I really, really like using. I hated using it when I was in the corporate world, but now I have to say it is my best friend. I am in Trello all day long. I think it's really great. I'm going to do a live, probably not next week, but maybe even the week after, on how I actually do that. And I'm actually going to give you a little peek behind the curtain and let you see my Trello board and how I manage my content on an ongoing basis, because I think it's something that's really valuable for you all. And then we're going to work on a workshop where we'll actually sit down and put together all of your content together in a Trello board. And so send me a note, let me know, put in the comments if you think that that would be valuable for you, a training on Trello and how to use it to manage all of your marketing and your content in all the different places that you market yourself. And if so, I will definitely put that training together for you. So that was the second question I had. Again, if you have any other questions, please send them to me. We are doing these lives every single Tuesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And you can direct message me your questions. You can email them to me at sherry@sherrysutton.com, and I will answer them in next week's broadcast. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye. Mwah.